Welcome everybody to a look at a brand new Eureka release. It is the Royal Tramp collection. So both of these films were released in 1992 and both were also directed by Wong Ying, who also did The Last Blood, Magic Crystal and High Risk. I've already talked about the previous two as they have had a release also this year. Both also star Stephen Chow, who is also in From Beijing with Love, which we've also reviewed, and that was released by Eureka earlier this year, who was also in Kung Fu Hustle, and both also star Charlotte Chung, who was in the likes of Magic Crystal and Tiger Cage 3. And both of them are a Wuxia comedy film, and the first film clocks in at 110 minutes long. So this is the artwork for the first film. You get artworks for both films on either side of the sleeve. And yeah, like I said, clocks in 110 minutes long. So it's a story of Wei Xiao Bao. I'm going to get these names wrong, no matter what I say. Who is a bard known for his quick wit and tall stories. Who, after saving Chan, the leader of the Heaven and the Earth Society, a revolutionary group, is made a member. After a botched first assignment for the group, he is made a servant to the prince, the very person the Heaven and Earth Society want to overthrow. So yeah, one line in this film sums up my general thoughts on the kind of tone that this film has, and basically the line is, he has attained the highest level, he can shrink his penis. So yeah, that line alone sums up how silly, mad, and downright funny this film is when it is firing on all cylinders, which is typically when the comedy is fused with the incredible action scenes, which is thankfully plenty of times throughout the film's running time. The cast is also really good. It is predominantly well paced. The production is solid. The score is decent, and it is engrossing and entertaining in equal measure. Perhaps a little bit on the long side, but overall a really fun film. And then we have the second film, which clocks in at 98 minutes long, and that's the artwork for that one. Trying to not bend it too much because I don't want it to be creased. Yeah, following on from the first film, after discovering that the Empress is actually Lona, a member of the Saint Dragon sect, and that she imprisoned the real Empress, Lona is bent on eliminating the person who disclosed her true identity, Wei Sai Bao, who was in the previous one, played by Stephen Chow. But more complications ensues when she is assigned to protect the prince, whose servant is none other than Wei Sai Bao. So, yeah, this isn't quite as good as its predecessor, which is mainly due to there being fewer action scenes, and those that are featured are not quite as madcap or entertaining in comparison to the first film. But this is still overall a fun effort. The cast is once again really rather good. I like the fact it is continuing on the plot from the prior film. The action scenes, even though they're not as good as the first film, are still really entertaining. It is well paced, the production is solid, and the score is well executed as it does get up to some kind of rousing moments. So, yeah, not quite as good as the first, but still an overall solid effort, and yeah, nowhere near as a disappointment as you might expect for a sequel to a film that is, yeah, not perfect even in its own right. So yeah, that is perfectly a good film. So yeah, the first film gets 4 out of 5. Second film gets 3.5 out of 5. So not a massive down step to be honest in quality. And each film is on its own individual disc as well. So yeah, that means we get plenty of extras on the disc itself. So yeah. So brand new 4K restorations of both films, presented in 1080p HD across 2 Blu-rays. Original Cantonese audio tracks, original optional English dubbed audio with newly translated English subtitles for this release. Brand new audio commentaries on both films by Asian film experts Frank Yang and FJ DeSanto. We've got brand new audio commentaries on both films by action cinema experts Mike Leader and Arne Venema. Then we got archival interview with veteran Hong Kong actress Helena Lo Lan, courtesy of the Frederic Ambrosiani video archive. Probably butchering that name. Then we've got 2 archival interviews with Wong Ying about Royal Tramp and the Yin Yong novel, the story that it is based on. And you also get trailers included in that. Yeah, it's the same for the second disc as well. Got all of the same extras on the second disc as well, by the looks of things. So yeah, you also get a nice little booklet to go with it. Yeah, that's just one of the villains in this that is absolutely lunatic, quite frankly, because he has a bunch of these guys with these golden rings, and even though that he can control them without um, sticking a lot of needles in their necks and parading them around like a puppet, that's when he is at they are at their strongest and he has the most control over them. And yeah, it's just really, really quite mad. So, book includes cast and credits for both films. Then you got The Court Jester, Royal Tramp, Stephen Chow Gets Classical by James Oliver. And then I think that's actually the only write up in here. But it's plenty of pages. You've got about 15 or so pages on that. 17, in fact. And then you got viewing notes, Blu-ray credits, etc., etc. So, yeah, it's not the most in-depth of releases, but considering I've never heard of these films before, although I had heard of Stephen Chow, who was really, really rather excellent in Kung Fu Hustle, as well as eventually From Beijing with Love. Yeah, I was anticipating that I'd enjoy these, and I certainly did. So, yeah, they're probably not going to be for everyone, though. I don't think the comedy is always going to translate well to some people, but on the whole, I really enjoyed these and found them hilarious throughout. And even though the first film is better than the second at least does have a shorter running time, so any of its flaws aren't as quite as annoying as they might well have been if it was the same length or longer. So yeah, highly recommend both of these films, especially if you're into your action comedy films. Yeah, this really does take things to a whole new level in comparison to other action comedies that we've reviewed that have come out of the likes of Hong Kong. So yeah, but nonetheless, thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.